be diving in and talking a little bit about SearchLink. So SearchLink is the product that I created that was provided all to you complimentary at the program couple of, well, I guess more than a month ago now. And what it is it's an AI powered tool to help you find leads, help you find people, help you find opportunities. And it's got some generative AI features in there as well. So I'm going to share my screen. Feel free to, I guess I'll probably go through, do a demo, and then at the end, we'll just kind of open it up to questions. But at any time, if you wanted to unmute yourself, if you can mute yourself now, if there's background noise, that'd be great. But when we're done, you can certainly unmute yourself, ask me questions, or throw questions in the chat as well. All right, so let me share my screen here. Hopefully you can all see SearchLink right now. And if you can't, just someone unmute themselves and yell at me. So I'm going to go through the various features here. People and companies, AI resources, and then some, the additional resources obviously are a program presentation recording on generative AI and the slides that I shared at the program. Now, as we talk about generative AI, it's pretty crazy to think that if I were to give that presentation again today, maybe 20% of it would already be different. That's how fast everything is changing. But the good news is all the key components on how to craft a prompt, the guide principle, goals, who is us, who's the intended audience, how do you want the information delivered, and the environment in which the information is going to be delivered. That principle still holds true. ChatGPT and the ability to use custom instructions. The biggest thing that's changed now, and we touched on this, I think it first come out, or it was still in beta, was custom GPTs. So we talked a little bit about that. So I can certainly, when we get into the QA portion, I can certainly log in and share with you any of the ChatGPT or generative AI tools that I'm using. But today, again, we're focused on SearchLink.ai. It's like I said, an AI-powered tool that I developed that will help you find the right people, the right decision makers, research companies, what's going on in the other person's world, and how to communicate with them in ways that are relevant to what they care about. So we'll dive in here. We're going to click on company employees. As the name implies, it allows you to find people in different ways. So we'll hit these really quickly, but basically you put in a company name. So this is not a list building tool. I mean, you can do it for that. It's just very manual. This is really like it's a search engine overlay. So it uses AI to run about 600 to 800 simultaneous searches. So you could do these searches on your own. It would just take you hours versus here it takes seconds. So I'm just going to type in a company name that I can spell, 3M. Now I can choose a function, or I can leave that blank, and I can search by seniority. So for example, here are all the directors, the managers. So again, every time I click on here, it's running a 400 to 500, 600 word search, and it looks for all synonyms of different words. So VPs, partners. Again, I can go in and choose a function. So if I want to say HR and recruiting, this is a good example of the AI in action because it knows, let's see, if I pick on VPs, so the system is smart enough to know that HR means human resources, that VP means vice president, that talent also is synonymous with human resources. So that's where the AI is coming in, is it's rules-based. If you recall the difference between AI and generative AI, it's rules-based where the system is programmed to look for specific synonyms of words. So on the flip side of that, under job function, type in 3M. Again, I can choose a seniority level now, or these are all the common functions at a particular company. So leadership, R&D. So some of the ones that you might care about, property and land, leadership, operations, finance. And again, if you wanted to choose a seniority and say, okay, I'm really only looking for vice presidents and above, we can go here and again get HR, technology, facilities. So who are the people in HR at that level that we care about? Or excuse me, people at vice president level at the functions we care about. Now, let me show you something on all of these as well. So if I go in, type in 3M, now this is going to pull up their LinkedIn profile. So if I go to property and land, and I click on any one of these, so I'll click on Mark, it will pull up the person's LinkedIn profile. Now, he's not very active on LinkedIn, so I'm not going to even bother with this one, but we'll choose another one here. Let's try Terry, see if she's better. Yeah, so she's a little more active. So when you're on somebody's LinkedIn profile, if you want to get their contact information, this little frog right here, it's called Lead Leaper. You can click on this, and about 80% of the time, it will go out and find their contact information, phone number, and email address. What's nice is every time you click on the frog, it actually builds a list for you. So this is an exportable list of all the people I've clicked on. Now let me show you where you get access to the frog. That's under contact information. So under contact information, free Lead Leaper plugin, you click here, watch this 2-minute video, and then click the install Lead Leaper plugin. It's a browser extension. It's this little frog here. Anytime you're on someone's LinkedIn profile, click it, and about 80% of the time, it will pull up their contact info. If that doesn't work, if the Lead Leaper doesn't work, there are 2 other ways to do it. You could type in a company name. And what this does is it looks for the email naming format. So at BrandPoint, it looks like they use first initial, last name at brandpoint.com. So if you're looking for Julie Smith, it's probably jsmith at brandpoint.com. Now, if that doesn't work, which is going to be pretty rare, you can always just put the domain name here. And this is just another way of trying to get to the same information. Under company employees, we can also search for company people by length of time at a company. So again, 3M, find me people who've been there 30 to 40 years. So here will be directors who've been there for 30 to 40 years. You can find approximate age. So find me people at 3M who are in their 50s, mid 50s. And even school alumni. So University of Oklahoma. Oklahoma. Let's see if I spell things right. You can choose an approximate age if you want, but find people at 3M who went to the University of Oklahoma. This is great, obviously, for networking. So here are 4 managers that went to University of Oklahoma, 3M. He lives in Norman. Again, if I want Steve's email address, click here, and it will go out and try to find it. And again, if this doesn't work, we can follow the naming format, first initial, last name, or whoever it might be. Looks like that's running a little bit slow right now. And then finally, Power Search allows you to search for people lots of different ways. So find me people at 3M with the word technology or IT as part of their job title, and they like baseball. Let's see if anything shows up. So here are a few people that fit that profile. So that is company employees and contact information to help you find that. Find the people at companies. Company research, a few little tricks here. So you can find a company. I can say manufacturing, Oklahoma City. We just choose state. Size of company. So maybe find me companies with 500 to 1,000 employees. You can get the name of the company, copy it, go back into company employees, and find out who the decision makers are at the organization. Also under company research, again, search by number of employees, annual revenue, classified business. City. This will find minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses, Asian-owned businesses, veteran-owned businesses. So if you have a specific niche, this will help you find them. Company details, you can just type in the name of a company. Use Brand Point, Minnesota. Get company details. So I can click on any one of these. So you can see they do 42 million, 124 employees. It's not perfectly accurate, but it's probably one of the best databases out there for getting that kind of information. Nonprofit details, if it were nonprofit, it will pull up their tax forms, their social media accounts if you want to follow them. Investors, BBB rating, employee reviews, customer reviews, and for larger companies, court cases you'll find in there. In company site search, this allows you to search for words at a specific company's website. Most of the time when we're looking at a company's website, we're looking at their marketing brochure. But larger companies have hundreds of thousands sometimes of hidden pages where maybe it's not on their marketing brochure. But I can go in here and again, we'll use 3m.com, find me the phrase real estate. So find me the phrase real estate, but you're only allowed to look at 3m.com's website. And then we can click. So here are PDF files with the phrase real estate, and it only sits on 3m.com. So that can sometimes be helpful when you're preparing for a meeting or want to do some business intelligence. So those are the features in company research. I'm just going to pop over here. Okay. Now these next ones are really AI resources. So you got engines. You can go in here. This is my own news search engine. So I can type in Oklahoma. I'm just going to copy that. Oklahoma real estate. I can search Google News. It's going to sort by most recent, or extended news will include trade journals, industry journals, press release articles, press releases. You can sort by relevance or date. So again, find me press releases by date. There's You Got Research, which finds research reports, past year. So find me commercial real estate. So whatever I put in here, the word or phrase has to be part of the title versus over here, broader industry. So I always start here, try to find a trend report. And so these would be trend reports where the phrase commercial real estate is the title of the report. So third-party objective reports. You Got Sites, kind of just showed you. That's 3m.com. You Got Docs, commercial real estate. Search the internet for documents with that phrase in it. So PDF files, spreadsheets. And finally, You Got Lists. So find me the word CEO, Oklahoma, and choose a list type. So contacts and spreadsheets. So the word CEO, the word Oklahoma shows up on these different spreadsheets, or I can say, even vendor supplier lists, donor lists, all sorts of different types of lists. So that's You Got Intel. A follow-up GPT. I think we showed this at the conference. This is my tool where you can follow up with somebody. So for example, I'm going to go find an article. Let's choose a company. So this is a prospect of mine. So if you remember from my presentation, we talked about how to stay in touch with people in ways that are relevant to what they care about. So here's an article about Greg Thies, person to watch. I'm going to go into craft a follow-up message. This is going to personal congratulations. It's going to Greg because it's about him. Recipient's company, Liberty, from Sam. Paste the article in. How is your dog Max feeling? Last time I talked with Greg, his dog wasn't feeling so well. Now, without even reading the article, I don't have to read it. The system will go out and use generative AI. Remember, AI is rules-based. Generative AI, it creates something from scratch. So it went out, read the article, and based on the pull-down menu, what type of message you'd like to send, it will craft an email for you that includes the article. So this is really powerful. How do you stay in touch with prospects in ways that they care about? What's important to the other person? So you can do that. You can find a report. Again, I just showed you this, but let's do it again. Past year real estate. Let's find trend reports again. So commercial real estate outlook from Colliers. Oh, that one doesn't have a URL. That's fine. Let's find a different one. Now I can go in and craft a follow-up message. This might be interesting research. Just going to go to Julie at Acme Construction. Sam, paste it in, and now it will go out and read the full report and craft an email for us. So this is, again, an example of generative AI. Copy to clipboard, paste this into our Outlook, go in, change some words, but it'll do 80% of the work for you. If you wanted to do a shorter one, maybe something for LinkedIn, or you want a shorter, just click on shorter message and generate it again. Again, it's going to create it from scratch, generative AI. So it's a great way to stay in touch with people in ways that they care about. A research report, an article about them, something going on in their world. In Virtual SAM, so this has been trained on thousands of hours of my keynote presentations. Let's see, all 12 of my books. It's been trained on thousands of articles, interviews, those sorts of things. So it's pretty good at knowing how I'd answer something. So it can be as simple as, what is the difference between AI and generative AI? And I'll let me, I guess, virtual me, if you remember from the presentation. So that's pretty much exactly how I would answer it. Right? Or you could ask it other questions like, might go in and say, how do you use LinkedIn to find commercial? Let's see, I'll answer that one. Yep, that's correct. Or it can even be trying to think, other things you can do with this in email script or post. You have to determine how good this is, but again, you're accessing me 24/7, 365. Recruiting Talent Finder is the last feature. So this is really using AI to find people that might have sales experience and real estate in Oklahoma City. And based on words that are in their LinkedIn profiles or other social media profiles, these are people that probably would take your call. It's something saying on that they're interested in a new job or a new opportunity. Okay, so that was a really fast demo on everything. So I'll unshare my screen and just you can unmute yourself. Let me know if you have any questions or put them in the chat room.